I thought Shane Beamer handled himself very well. His football team handled themselves. Everybody looked poised, composed. Of course, in week one, the emotions are running high. We're back to packed stadiums and packed tailgates. And like you mentioned, the emotions flying high with his debut. But what was the sense, I guess, like you just talked about it a little bit, but the sense in the building this past week and then leading into Saturday, did you get a sense from Shane Beamer of sort of that calm demeanor? Obviously, he's a very positive, upbeat, optimistic guy, but I guess what was the overall vibe from Coach Beamer going into that game Saturday night that you picked up?
I loved being in the same room with him. Last year there were so many Zoom calls that took place, and so it was nice first and foremost to be back on site, to have an opportunity to press the flesh with him and his coordinators. I love the hires as a whole, that entire coaching staff. One of the things he mentioned to me when I asked him about, putting together that staff, he said, look, I've had a list for a long time of the top 3 coaches I want at every position. And he said, I got 8 of the 10 that I had on that list, which was pretty impressive in and of itself. I had a chance to talk to one of my former teammates, Mike Peterson, who's been on the staff, both with Coach Muschamp and now with Coach Beamer, and his excitement about what he's seeing and witnessing. Really impressed with the 2 coordinators, Marcus Satterfield, who, actually I guess he may have played up to me because he showed me a picture of him playing wide receiver number 28. He goes, guess who my hero was back in the day? And the guy that I looked up to, he said, I was actually a little intimidated to sit down and talk to my idol. So that was really a cool moment for me. And then with Clayton White, who I didn't know a ton about, was really impressed with him. So all in all, I mean, I could not think more highly of the staff that he's been able to assemble, the passion that they all have for being where they are now. And just to a man, I asked each of them, what was the goal going in and playing against Eastern Illinois? An overmatched opponent in week one. It was just, banging off the rust, getting out there, and all of them say, hey, we want to look like a well-coached team. We want to be able to not have a bunch of penalties. We want to get 11 guys on the field lined up in the right spots, and we want to be able to execute, which I thought they did for the most part. There's some sloppiness in the second half. I think that's the thing I look at is how you come out of the second half, especially when you have a big lead. So they need to clean that up. A couple big play opportunities, some touchdowns that were negated by penalties. But all in all, I thought that from the start to the finish, they all showed like they were dialed in and showed the energy that I think you would want your players to have, particularly playing in a game like this where you expect to walk over the opponent.